I'm sorry for what I'm said when it's undercarbed. Such a true statement. How many arguments and stuff do we have when we're undercarbed or dehydrated or underslept? But can I be real with you right now? Like real. Like no trolling, no bullshit, no like pretentiousness, no jump cuts. Just straight up real. And what it feels like. What it feels like to use anabolic steroids or certain drugs or doping products, etc. I'm just lighting this camera up better. There's a lot of discussion on the internet with this recent WADA thing with the fancy bears. Again, not trolling, just type in fancy bears, you'll see that there's a Russian group of hackers who have hacked the World Anti-Doping Agency's database and just exposed all the truth of how much drugs people take legally, like from their doctors, you know, like adrenaline, painkillers, asthma medication, cortisone, like Kenalog injections, Kenacort injections, etc. All these things that people take legally. So they're not technically dopers because they've got a prescription for it. And if they didn't have a prescription, they'd get banned, maybe for life or for 2 years or 1 year or fines, etc. But so often people say, do not, you know, you've got a steroid addiction. I'll tell you what, 100%. I've used anabolic steroids. I mean, you only know that because I've told you that. You know, in December 2014 or beforehand, I started doing videos about, hey, I'm going to do an experiment. I'm curious myself, as a cyclist, as a runner, to know what's the performance benefits. You know, I want to know. And I didn't have a license at the time, a racing license. So I'm like, cool, I'll have a little play with that. And then I was like, oh, and not much performance benefit. You know, like recovery is good, but I don't train enough, and my lifestyle. Like, look, here's the thing. I don't have kids. I don't have a standard 9 to 5 job. So my recovery is like really fucking good. I don't need to dope to recover. If you look how much I train, anyone using drugs to recover from that is a really, like, literally a fucking soft fuck, man. Seriously. If you need to take drugs to recover from riding 100 Ks a week or 300 Ks a week, which is, I'd probably average maybe 180 Ks a week all year round. If you need drugs to recover from that, you're a fucking soft fuck. I've been riding for 20 years, okay? Anyway, so I did the experiment. I noticed that cycling, sprint performance goes up, definitely, but I'm not a sprinter, I'm a climber. And my climbing performance went down. I could never really get that super lean physique. Lean, but I couldn't get that super lightweight physique that I had before I was, you know, when I was full natty bra back in 2013, early 2014, when I was doing a lot of Ks and I was just flying. Because I was like 63 kilos or something, you know. And punching out good power. So anyway, what I did notice though is the insane strength benefits you get and how much muscle you put on. So if your sport involves power, cycling doesn't involve power, cycling involves watts per kilogram. If you take anabolic steroids, 99% of the time, that will fuck up your watts per kilo in a bad way. The only exception is if you're a stage racer and you're taking maybe a little bit of like andriol or androderm patch to boost glycogen retention, because you're racing so much every day that your ability to store glycogen is impeded because you're just burning so many calories. That's not me. That's not me at all. I've never ever done a stage race longer than 3 days. And that was like 1998. So actually 1999 to Canberra. So it's just hilarious the shit I read out there. So what does it feel like? I'll tell you what it feels like. When you are on anabolic steroids, and I've only ever used low dosages. Most of the people out there who use them, like Kino Body or TMW or the Michael Phelps, all the swimmers and stuff, all those gearheads out there, if they were watching this video and saw how little I took, they'd just be like, mate, you're fucking soft. The motto in the Olympics, not in the Olympics, I should say, the motto at the top of pro sport, not pro sport, I'm saying the top of the top is, if 10 will kill you, take 9 and fucking win. If 10 will kill you, take 9 and fucking win. Destroy the competition, get the millions, get it fucking done. That is the motto of professional pro sport. And we're seeing that with the TUE stuff. I mean, people say, oh, I'm sick, I need drugs. And I'm like, okay, with the TUE, if you're taking a TUE and you're winning, in my opinion, you're abusing the system. That's just my opinion. If you're taking a TUE and just to finish in the pack, okay, no worries. But if you're claiming you need a Kenacort shot and you win the Tour de France, then come on, man. I mean, I've known that all along. Even since Lance Armstrong back in 2000, I was like, he's obviously taken some good shit because he just can't do it otherwise. And that's just pro sport. I don't think anyone's cheating. I just see it's the athletes really are the victims. The athletes are the victims because any shit goes down, the athletes get the blame. Management up top, no one looks at that. No one looks at the IOC or WADA or anything like that. They're like, let's blame the athletes for cheating. But they're basically just puppets and pawns for the system that is professional sport. Now, I'm not saying all pros dope. I'm saying all the big ones, the big dogs, have to take gear to keep a contract. That's just a reality, man. And people can disagree with me, but again, every year I get, more credibility because the media backs up what I say. It's pro sport. A pro sport is aggressive activity, aggressive exercise. Let's say again, pro sport is aggressive exercise funded by money to make more money. And if you're not willing to play the system, play along the game, pro sport's a game. If you're not willing to play, then you won't get paid, or you get paid very, very little compared to what you could do if you got on the gear and won. So my experience with anabolic steroids is, what does it feel like? As a cyclist, you don't really notice much, but if you're doing big Ks, then yeah, your recovery is going to be a lot quicker, but your performance won't go up. Like if you're doing EPO, I've never done that, or if you're doing cortisone injections, I've done one cortisone injection back in '98, but I didn't train though. I had an injury, an ITB issue, so I couldn't train. I was in too much pain. But those things really give an instant performance boost. Not instant, sorry. Like they'll give you performance boost. Cortisone will give you performance boost in a couple of days, or even that day. That day definitely. EPO takes like 4 to 6 weeks generally, a solid cycle. But people often think if you take testosterone, you become this like Hulk Hogan. And Hulk Hogan was on steroids, man. The Incredible Hulk is on steroids. The actor who plays that. Hollywood, man. All those guys are on anabolic steroids. Like, why wouldn't you take it? Taking anabolic steroids is safer than drinking beer. It's safer than smoking cigarettes. It's safer than passive smoking. Taking anabolic steroids. Again, that's just not my opinion. That's the World Health Organization saying that, of their known carcinogens list. So there you go. Check it out. But what does it feel like? It feels like the main difference I noticed was when I was lifting weights. Now, I don't lift weights regularly because as a cyclist, every extra kilo you put on is negative unless you're like severely underweight and unhealthy. But at my weight now, my fitness level, every kilo I put on is negative. So for me to be in the gym putting on muscle when I'm on anabolic steroids, I did that. And I just 7 kilos and started looking swole. And even Freddie would be like, wow, you're looking really good. And other people comment, oh, you got some muscle, got some gains, looking healthy. And that when I was on, people said you look healthy. And when I was off, people say, you look like a skinny faggot motherfucking pencil neck, 6-foot tapeworm in your gut. Like now. People read the comments, you skinny faggot, blah, 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 blah. Because it's impossible to take anabolic steroids and be this lean unless you're doing some crazy fucking training. Crazy fucking training. And that's why when pro riders look at me and they're like, they see on Strava, they're thinking, this fucker's got something going on. It's the diet, motherfuckers. But you can't take anabolic steroids and be this lean. You can't. You can't. Look at how skinny my face is. Look how skinny my neck is. You can't take anabolic steroids and be this skinny. I mean, yes, you can. You can probably take a smidgen, but you won't notice any benefit. If you're taking less than 250 milligrams a week, in my opinion, the benefit's not really there unless you're in the Tour de France and doing a stage race. But then again, you only get the benefit as a Grand Tour rider. This is probably losing a lot of people, isn't it? Because most people got no fucking idea. If you're curious, go out there. This is mainly to my haters. Go out there and go to your family doctor. Don't never take drugs from a gym rat. Never take drugs from a gym rat. Go to your family doctor, get on the gas, and get on a program. And then you'll know. All right? And then you still won't be able to beat up a climb because you haven't done the training, etc. But for people to say, oh, you've done steroids, you're going to fly up the climb, that's absolute fucking rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. If that was true, then bodybuilders would be fucking smashing climbs, man. Steroids will give you insane sprinting power, I agree. If you're a sprinter, it'll help a lot. You have to be on the gas if you're like a sprinter to have that power. Top end power, definitely. But in the gym, when I lift weights, not in the gym, at home with my bench press, you just it's addictive as fuck, man. So if I was a swolger, then yeah, I'd be on still. But because I'm a cyclist, because I'm a runner, and I've still got aspirations to get fitter, taking anabolics and taking them long term, or even in higher dosages, it doesn't help me at all. It's a negative. I'm better off just going out and training and getting. I'm better off losing weight. If I want to perform better, then I have to get lighter, and I'll get lighter by riding more. But I'll look bad on camera. So you can sort of see the conundrum and first world problems I've got here. Anabolic steroids will help the Grand Tour cyclist by increasing glycogen retention primarily. Your glycogen retention is better. But here's the thing, man. I would put money on it that I could aid a fucking pro rider's glycogen retention just by adding refined sugar into the diet, like adding more in. These fucking pro cycling teams have these wanky fucking nutritionists that say, oh, don't have refined sugar, have more healthy fats. And is this fueling the doping epidemic? I don't know. I would say yeah. I wouldn't say I don't know. I'd say it is, man. Because if you're not having enough carbohydrates, your performance going down. And so you're going to look elsewhere for performance benefits. And in pro sport, drugs are like eating fucking breakfast at the top. So I would say, if I was coaching, let's say Bradley Wiggins, and he said, I want to do a cortisone shot to lose weight, I'd be like, hey man, like, what are you eating, bro? Why are you eating those inflammatory foods? Why are you eating animal products? Like, if you're a pro cyclist and you're still fucking eating meat and dairy and you want to be leaner, like, what? It's like riding with 50 psi on your tires. Like, why the fuck are you doing that? Animal products have the metabolic waste products. Your kidneys have to process that. That's less EPO that they can produce. That's more arachidonic acid. That's more inflammation, which means more body weight, which means your watts per kilo goes down less. Cutting out sugar is the dumbest thing fucking ever. Having protein shakes and shit like that, because some fat, dumb fuck nutritionist who couldn't even fucking do a 200k ride, who couldn't keep up with you guys in training, and you're listening to them. Why, man? That's just like listening to your fucking team mechanic who can't even put a fucking chain on properly. Like, what? Like, it's like having a team mechanic who can't even fucking fix his own fucking bike. If your nutritionist is fat and fucking out of shape and can't keep up with you guys on a moderate level intense ride, then they got no fucking understanding of what you guys are involved with. They got no fucking idea. They just come out of university, maybe they got some connections and they sort of swank their way into the team contract or whatever. But they got no fucking idea. And that's a root of cycling, is the nutritional bullshit out there that gets taught. Just fucks people up. They gain weight, they look to corticosteroids or Kenalog injections to lose a bit of weight, get a bit more of a buzz. And it's just fucking wrong. And then they take more stims and they can't sleep properly and then the recovery's less. So then they, you know. I mean, I'll guarantee you we ain't seen the fastest riders yet. I want to see all these dopers get on my program. Get on CARB the fuck up. And then we'll see the hour record get smashed again. Then we'll see the marathon world record get dropped again. Then we'll see everything get dropped again. Doping plus carbing the fuck up, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And by doping, I don't mean a little bit of testosterone. I mean EPO, the corticosteroid injections, you know, the hardcore stims, the real shit, the shit that kills people with heart attack. Basically, you got to dope so hard, you're willing to risk heart attack at any moment. If 10 kills you, take 9 and fucking win. So anyone out there who says, you know, Duran Rider is a steroid addict or his performances are because of steroids, I mean, you've got no fucking idea. You're either a troll just trying to like create drama, whatever, that's internet, it's a hate machine, I accept that. But if you're genuinely believing that steroids, like testosterone, xanthate, etc., will give you my level of performance, like, come with me, come in Thailand, and I'll dose you up. I'll dope you up. I was in Thailand, we can't get in trouble, it's legal. I'll dope you up, and then we'll see how good you ride. You won't ride any better, but I could coach you with your diet and your recovery, and you get way more performance enhancement than taking anything, even EPO. I mean, EPO would only work if you're doing everything right and doing the training. Otherwise, you're just wasting drugs. You're just wasting drugs. So hopefully that clears it up. I'm probably confusing a lot more people. It's a 15-minute video. But I've done anabolic steroids. I've done illegal doping products, but all of them from the local family doctor, and all of them I could get a TUE for. All right, so like it's we live in this fucking crazy world. I've even seen some girls saying the other day, "Oh, you're a steroid cheat," blah blah blah. And then out of curiosity, I go to the Instagram page and they're like, "Oh, they're following what's his name, Chris Hemsworth or all these steroid fucking Hollywood fake natty bras." And I'm like, you know, like, are you that dumb? Are you such a fucking handbag basic? Or are you such even the guy version of a barbell basic? Oh, you're a steroid cheat, you're a steroid cheat. And they follow Kino Body and Mark Lobliner and all these other fake natties. And it's like, man, well, everyone's just half asleep. Only 1% of my viewers right now will understand this video. The rest will be like, what, like, steroid, like, oh, what? Do you know I was doing Tour de France? Like, people don't get it. Leave some questions down below. Let's do some follow-up videos. A bit of a ramble there for you. Leave the questions. Leave the questions. Thanks for watching.